My company concentrates on branding, which a lot of people will talk about.
All right, y'all. We are live, Boston's Brunch Radio on the afterparty.com. I'm your host, Montana, the Madam of Media. Got my girl, Danielle, the Dun Diva.
Yeah, yeah. Please believe her.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Just
And
Ivy. We also have a special guest in the studio with us today, Miss Kim Harris. How are you doing,
I'm
Kim?
great. Nice to meet you and
Nice to
glad to
meet you
be
too.
here.
Thank you for being
awesome,
our
yes.
guest today on
Mm-hmm.
Bosses Brunch Radio. We're going to be talking, is your money holding you hostage?
Hmm.
Okay, and we're going to get into all of that. But before we get there, we got to catch y'all up and let y'all know what's been
Right.
going on. And y'all do know that Bosses Brunch, I'm so excited I can't even get it out, that we are nominated for five party awards.
Okay, okay,
Yes,
okay. All
yes,
right.
and that is right, y'all. December the 9th, it is going
That's
down here
good.
in Dallas at the Angelica Movie Theater. We are going to be honoring people. We're going to be giving away 14 awards,
That's
and
good.
hopefully we get to take one of
Mm-hmm.
them.
Right.
Yes, so if you think that we are
Right.
deserving of that, go to the afterparty.com/, the party awards
Hmm.
and vote for Bosses Brunch.
Right
Very
on.
simple.
Yay.
Okay.
Right,
So that's
right.
what we're doing. We're doing party
Big
awards. That is
things
it. That is all
popping
we
and
can
little
do.
things stopping.
Danielle, I
Yeah.
know your event was here recently, your monthly event. How did that go?
It was good. It was good. We had a really powerful moment that night. It's like I had this whole agenda planned out, because again, the name of the event is the Change Her Connections Business Networking Mixer. So that alone just tells you, that kind of atmosphere you're coming into is really,
Okay.
really positive, and it's just set up where women in business can just be themselves and, truly talk about topics kind of like on the Boss's Brunch, but in a more intimate setting,
Okay.
and just truly talk about topics that are
What did
bothering
y'all
us as
discuss this
personal.
month?
Well, we talked about what it truly means to actually be a game changer,
Mm.
period. We had to start there with actually what that means. And so just breaking that down. And then again, like I said, I had this whole agenda set out and ready to talk about, but you know me, I try to go with
You
the
let the
flow.
Lord use
I
you.
did. And so there were, a couple of ladies there that just kept highlighting on a particular thing. And every time I tried to get back on topic, they just kept wanting to talk about that. And
So
so, I
that
mean,
was, yeah, y'all needed to
tears were
get that out.
shed.
Yeah,
I'm
y'all
talking
needed
about
to
it
get
was
that out.
powerful. And I was like, whoa, okay. And my best friend's looking at me, baby, let the Lord,
That is
this is
what,
where we're going to
yeah,
stay
that is
then
what
because
it's
this is
all
obviously
about.
needed. And so sometimes you got to go off course, but you're still on course because this is about him. So it was good, you guys. I missed y'all. Don't make me
I
punch
know.
y'all and get ghetto. I need to see
I'm
y'all at
going
the
to
next
be
one.
there next
Sorry,
month.
Kim.
Yeah,
Okay.
Kim, she is. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We have
Don't
guests.
apologize
We
for
have
being you,
guests.
I'm
okay?
godly, but I'm gutter. But I
Yeah,
love the Lord. He heard my
yeah.
cry and pitied every groan. I'm just
Did you?
playing. No, I'm just playing, you guys. Yeah.
So yeah, we will. I will be there
Okay,
definitely next month.
Montana.
Is there a
Third
focus?
Thursday.
Yeah, third Thursday of the
Third
month.
Thursday of the
Is there a
month.
focus for November?
I actually wanted to bring out our guest that we had last month.
Okay.
um, and have her talk about some things. But if not, then I'll keep you guys posted on what the topic will be about.
Okay.
Nice.
So, but yeah,
Tell them the details. Third Thursday,
it's
where?
every third Thursday, actually, at the People's Last Stand at Mockingbird Station,
Mm.
5319 East Mockingbird Lane, which is actually right upstairs next door to the Angelica Theater, where Montana will be having the Party Awards this year. So, you guys come on out, get familiar with the surroundings so you don't miss where you're going on December the what?
December the 9th.
December the 9th.
What
Yeah, I
time is
slid that
yours?
in there. And my event is just from 7 to 10.
Okay,
So,
nice,
you guys,
nice.
women in business, pop in and come get your support on. Come grab a goodie bag, a
Does it cost
cocktail.
anything?
No, it's free.
Oh, that's
Oh,
not us.
there's
It's
no
free.
excuse.
It's
Wow.
no
No
excuse.
excuse.
This is not a moneymaker event. This is a growing you
Mm.
I
event.
like that.
Which
Growing
Um,
results in
you.
the money making.
this is what the game changers is all about.
Yeah.
That is actually our motto, is helping women change their game personally so that they can go in and change the game in their business.
Say
And so
that again.
change her
Love
game,
it.
change hers. And so
That's
that is powerful.
Nice.
applaud.
Can't wait to see where God takes this. So you guys stay tuned for all of that. So that's what we're doing. Just planning for the next month on that. Those weeks roll around real quick,
Real
okay?
quick.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I already
Mm-hmm.
got like what, 3 weeks left for the next month, it seems like. I don't know.
Mm,
Right.
okay.
So Ivy.
Nothing. Nothing happened this week.
Okay.
Something did happen. Ivy, you know
Ivy
what?
is always doing something though, period. You
You
know
know,
what I'm
but what
saying?
Ivy
Mhm.
is doing, let me say this,
Yes.
something that she is doing.
Mhm.
She came to me and she said, "Hey Montana, I want to be a part of the Party Awards. I want to bless a business,
Mhm.
and become a sponsor for that business award." So the
Mhm.
BLI Publishing Group, not group,
This
they're not a
BLI
group,
Publishing.
just
BLF.
BLI
You gotta
Publishing.
train us. You gotta train us on the
BLI
change.
Group for a minute.
Right, it was. Yes.
They are. She is, or her organization is going to be blessing the recipient of the
Praise
Boss
him.
Business Award with what you giving them, Ivy.
We are actually giving away a publishing contract.
See,
Awesome.
yes.
Yummy.
Yeah.
So for you business owners who
So
are
please
on the
Exactly.
vote for
list,
somebody who's worth
vote
it.
for someone.
Hello.
Yes.
And they, yes,
And
Search.
boom. What is that shade
we
bell?
I'm
do
just
need it.
saying.
We do need it. I
I
may
Just
go and
saying,
yeah.
retrieve it.
I'm not looking for you fly by night folks to try to get a
Right,
publishing
all
company. If
right.
you want to talk about nothing, be like him. Kim got
Oh.
127 books. I'm just playing.
Like, what,
Talk
really?
about something. Don't come to my publishing company talking about I want to write about my auntie. She was a crackhead. Business,
Oh,
boo. This is
yes.
Business.
okay.
So we do appreciate BLI Publishing for making
Mhm.
that contribution. I also want to say this too, that in addition to BLI Publishing, the station, so for the ticket sales are
Uh-huh.
going, the part of the proceeds are going to benefit the recipient who wins the community hero award. So
Okay.
if it's an organization that wins it, then the proceeds will go to that organization. If it's
Okay.
an individual, then we will the proceeds will go to the charity of
Their
their
choice.
choosing.
Wow.
All
I
right.
So we're
So
love
gonna
it.
do
please
that.
pick good people.
So buy your
Quality
Good
ticket
quality
people.
people.
and make sure, yeah, you. Well,
Mm-hmm.
I
When
want
did
to say
voting
this:
open?
voting ends November. Voting has started now, and it ends
Mhm.
November 23rd. But I will say this: I personally looked into each of the organizations that made the ballot, and
Mhm.
each of those organizations are deserving. So no matter
So we're in the
which,
Mhm.
final
yeah,
stage of voting.
we're in the final. Yeah,
Oh,
we're it.
all right.
This is
We
Honey.
good.
it.
They been
All
vetted. We
right.
good.
All
Yeah, they
right.
have been
All
vetted,
right.
and they are
Okay.
good. You know, I do want to say this, and
Mhm.
then we're gonna move on. I wasn't gonna do this because Kim is here, and you know how
Is this? Oh,
it's
I
sensitive.
feel a. Is this
It
a?
is, but it ain't gonna be a rant. I
Okay.
just want to say something. Okay, it is not gonna be a rant. Y'all, y'all already know that the Party Awards is like a labor of love for me,
Mhm.
and so Friday night, or was it Saturday night, we published the ballot.
Mhm.
From the moment that that ballot was published, y'all, I was fighting. I was up till 3 in the morning yesterday fighting
Mhm.
somebody on Facebook
Mhm.
because they hate us. This is what I don't understand is why people cannot clap for other people until it's your turn for somebody to clap for you.
This is so
Right.
You know what
true.
I'm saying? You
That's
know,
right.
everybody, I got
That's
emails, y'all.
right.
I've gotten more emails about the Party Awards than I've gotten about anything that we've ever done, like within the last couple of days. Why this person not on the ballot? Well, whoa, are y'all just doing this for friends? Let me
Mm.
tell you something. If
Mm.
I was doing it for
Mm.
friends,
Mm.
Danielle would have been on the ballot. Ivy would have been
Okay.
on the ballot.
I'm not on
All
the
of my
Mhm.
ballot.
girlfriends would have
Right.
been on the
Janelle,
ballot.
you on
They're
the ballot?
not.
I'm not
There
on the
were
ballot.
people on the ballot that I don't personally know, but that does not mean that they are not bossing up in whatever
Mhm.
area that they, that they are in
True
their life.
indeed. True
Because
indeed.
you don't know them or because you're not checking for them don't mean
Uh-huh.
that they're not out here doing big
Mhm.
business stuff. I don't listen. There have been things that have gone on in the city that nobody has called me about. I've seen panels that I've wondered why they ain't call me, but I'm not tripping. That's their event. That's their
Right.
Preach,
thing, and I'm
preach.
not gonna get bent out of shape.
That's
Yet, what
right.
I'm gonna do is
Is
if I don't,
create your
do
own
you hear
lane.
what?
Hello.
That's it. That is
Hello.
it. So I just
Now we
want to
having church this
say, do you
morning.
hear me? I just want to
Yep.
say, let the hate stop, please.
Well,
Let
Yes.
it stop.
But let's start in
Clap
yes.
for somebody else.
2018.
And
That's
if
right.
you didn't make the ballot this year,
That's
guess
right.
what? Clap for your damn self. That
That's
didn't mean you
right.
wasn't on your game. That didn't
That's
mean you
right.
wasn't doing it.
Right.
That's it.
Wow.
We had 457 submissions
Mhm.
Wow.
for the nominations.
Mhm.
If you didn't make it, it's not our fault.
Right.
Just know that. And that's all I'm going to say. And we're going to
Mhm.
move on.
Right.
We're
All
gonna move
right.
on.
It's
That's
like so and to your
that's
point,
simply
that's like
put.
who's who in Black Dallas.
Yeah.
They
Mhm.
send out the emails. They tell you to forward it to your friends. If your friends don't think enough about you to give
To
to
vote
support, then
right.
it is what it is. It's like 10
Mhm.
Shades of Success. I got
Exactly.
nominated, and we have that process next month.
Mhm.
It's if you didn't get nominated, you know what I'm saying. Check your circle of friends because they may
Mhm.
be hating on you
Right.
while you
Right.
sitting up here looking crazy. Because when
I
I
can't
get
tell
stuff,
you,
Right.
I push it
yeah,
out.
you do. I can't tell
Mhm.
y'all, Ivy will tag me on something on Instagram, Montana, you need to do this, you need to
Janelle the
submit.
same way. I'll be
Let
like,
me tell
thank
Mhm.
you,
you.
if if for things that you can self-nominate, guess who gonna nominate
Right.
their damn self? Not me.
Exactly.
I
Don't
don't
wait
need
for
to
your
wait on
friends. And
exactly.
Exactly.
I,
sometimes your friends ain't clapping for you.
that's
The
right.
people you calling friends ain't
And
clapping for
sometimes
you.
the
Or they really
biggest
don't know what you're doing.
how about that? Because you're not even really properly
Yeah, you're
promoting
right.
it.
I'm one of
So
Right.
those
Right.
people
it's
that
a
don't
lot
promote
goes
myself.
with that. And they
Yeah.
know that. That's no more different than getting a American Music Award or a
Right.
Yeah.
Grammy. They
Right.
know how it goes. It doesn't mean that if you wasn't in that category or you didn't win it all, doesn't mean that we still don't watch your movies and we still don't love you as an actor.
Absolutely.
I got
Really?
nominated for a category I
This
never
is
thought I would
why you
be.
got to know who you working for, like who
Yeah.
you really working for. Because again,
Absolutely.
if you are only
Are
waiting
you on a
on
mission?
the applause
Are
of
you on a
man,
mission?
Right.
You'll never get it.
you'll
Right.
never get it
Right.
Or
when
you'll
you
get it,
want
it'll be
it.
like this.
Yeah, you'll
Instead of
never
all
get it
collectively
how you
clapping and
want it.
making a
Right.
noise.
Right.
So
Right.
stop hating.
Exactly.
Let Montana be great. She's been doing this for what?
I
This is
just
your
this
fourth
is my
year?
fourth year
Just
doing this.
yeah.
But you
Y'all
know what?
stop.
Ultimately, like I said, after it took me to finally getting tired in that fight at 3 in the morning, that I said because this person literally, y'all, took my album with all the nominations in it and shared it with a negative post. Like, I can't believe this.
Mm.
And it was real and I was like, how dare you? Like you really gonna share the
Mm.
album? And there were people who, let's say if you were nominated for Boss Business,
Mhm.
I'm coming on your post where you sharing the flyer saying,
Mhm.
well, what about Ivy? Well, what about Kim? On your post
Uh
where
huh.
you were not like that is
Wow.
tacky,
Yeah.
tacky. Y'all tacky for that. Y'all are
Yeah,
tacky for
yeah,
that.
that's tacky.
Tacky for that.
And
Wow.
it was self-nominated, so she put it out there, and it responded, and
So
Wow.
this
it was
Exactly.
particular
enough.
person who shared it
Right.
said, "Why you didn't tag me? Why you didn't inbox me? Why didn't I know?"
Wow.
I said, "I didn't tag you or inbox you, but you shared this album.
Mhm.
You knew
You went
this,
and did this research.
but you didn't know." So look,
Come on now.
I'm not
How long
listen.
was it in the let's get
2
You
let's
were
get
months.
into
only
this. 2 months.
responsible for how you output things,
Wait,
but you
two
cannot be
months.
responsible for how people
I
She
just
receive
had an
want us
it.
to
open
do better,
nomination for
Dallas.
2 months,
Mhm.
60 days. Y'all,
Yeah.
you couldn't figure that out.
I
I
just
mean,
want
if you
us to do
follow
better.
checking for
That's
the
it.
after
I
party,
just
then you
want
You
should
us
know.
couldn't
to
at
do
least
better.
nominate
But
yourself
come
and then
on.
ask your friends later, okay, guys, I'm on the thing, but I need you guys' votes to help keep me on the ballot.
Man. But we digress.
Right.
But
We
Okay.
digress.
anyways,
Sorry about
okay.
that rant. We
I'm
just
sorry, Kim. Yeah,
Kim,
sometimes you
girl.
just gotta, you just gotta let it out. You just
Gotta
got
go with the flow.
we talked about that our last episode.
Yeah.
About your mechanisms for coping and how to deal with
Mhm.
with life stresses. Even though
Right.
I'm not. I mean, some people are pressed. I'm not
Mhm.
pressed, but
Mhm.
you'll be all right.
Right.
So moving right along.
Right
Today,
along.
as I said, we are talking how money can hold you hostage.
yeah.
And we are
Mhm.
speaking with Arthur Kim Harris and business coach. You
Mhm.
Yes.
are a financial expert.
Financial capability
I
expert.
love that. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay,
Kim.
yeah. Financial capability. I like to make the distinction between that and financial literacy because financial literacy is really about knowing how to manage your money.
Mhm.
And we are
Exactly.
learning more about how to manage our money.
Right.
But where we are falling short is in making our money work for us. That's where the
Mhm.
capability comes in. It's
Mhm.
an upscale up. It's an up level to the management piece of your money game.
Exactly.
So I always tell people you don't have to work hard to make your
Mhm.
money. You have to make your money work hard for you.
That's right.
Okay.
So if your money
That's
is
right.
working hard for you, you can kind of sit back a little bit and do the things you enjoy to do,
Mhm.
right? Well, it
Mhm.
took me a little bit to learn that too.
Mhm.
But
Before we get into how long it took you
mhm.
and everything,
Mhm.
let's dive right in. So you know that
Mhm.
Bosses Brunch is focused on small business
Right.
Mhm.
entrepreneurs. Danielle even uh, clued us in, even the self-employed. Okay, we
Mhm.
Mhm.
need to. That's a whole nother issue.
Right.
Yeah, that's
So
that cash flow quadrant.
right.
Yes.
So that's who our listeners are. And,
Mhm.
all three of us, at some point, we work for other people before
Right.
we
Mhm.
start walking into our purpose on our mission.
Right.
Right.
What was the thing that, because we know you work for corporate America at some
Absolutely.
point,
Mhm.
Mhm.
when did you say, you know what, Kim, I can't keep doing this. I got to get away from this and do me. What was that
Right.
thing that happened for you to make you decide to walk into your
It
purpose?
was
Mhm.
just the realization that I didn't have the freedom to create. When I
Mm.
Mhm.
realized I had no freedom to create, that's when I knew it was time for me to come out
Yes.
because I
Yes.
felt
Yes.
imprisoned. I felt
Mhm.
like I was stifled. I didn't have a real voice. I
Mhm.
had input,
Mhm.
but when it came to what I could see in terms of the bigger picture, it was never an open a gate for me to walk into and say, look, this is what I see, this is how I know this can
Mhm.
work, because there's always somebody above you calling those shots.
Calling
Right.
those
And
shots.
so when I realized that I had had enough of people telling me when I could go on vacation, when I went to Paris the first time, my supervisor told me when I came back from vacation that she says, "Oh, well, you can wait until, she says, "Are you going to go back next year?" I said, "I may go back before next year
Mhm.
because I'm not going to wait to get permission to do what I want to do." And that's when I knew it was time for me to come out of the corporate umbrella where people were telling me when and where and how to do what I wanted to do. Okay? So at that point, I just one day woke up. I didn't have a plan, and I don't recommend this, but I did not have a plan.
The Lord was with you, girl.
Okay, but I knew in my heart of hearts and my soul to soul and my spirit that it was time to take the step of faith and move into what I envisioned at that time to be my own business. I just didn't know what that looked like yet.
Right.
But you got to have courage. Sometimes you don't have all the
Mhm.
information. Sometimes you don't have all the answers. Sometimes you don't have a complete plan.
Mhm.
And it just it and that is the thing that will paralyze you is thinking you have to have all of those pieces to make it work. And it's
Right.
not the case.
Now let me ask you. Sorry. Let me ask you, Kim.
Uh-huh.
How long ago was that you made
Ooh,
that decision?
that was almost 18 years ago now.
Wow.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So what
Mhm.
has been, I mean, you've been doing this for quite some
Mhm.
time,
Mhm.
so you
Mhm.
got this thing down. But what has been the biggest struggle for you being an entrepreneur or self-employed?
The biggest struggle is just matching my personality type with the overall spectrum of fitting into the business world. For example, I'm a textbook introvert.
Mhm.
Introverts have um, this thing where they like to work on their own. They like to do their
Mhm.
thing. They like to
Mhm.
stand on the
Mhm.
back and
Right.
observe and
Mhm.
you know and so the networking piece of it was the biggest struggle for me
Okay.
Mhm.
because it was hard for me to kind of just go out there and meet people and it took a long
Right.
time to get over that hurdle.
Mhm.
But I found that when I found people who were really strong and supportive of me
Mhm.
and what I was doing in my work, those people who were what were classified as extroverts kind of carried that load for me. They would
Mhm.
carry me into that space where I couldn't or I didn't fit in or I didn't
Right.
work well. And so they would help me to bridge that gap,
Mhm.
to so to speak, to build my business and build the relationships that I needed to build my business. And of
Right.
course, after so much time, you become more confident and you can do it on your own. So even
Mhm.
though I still have some struggle sometimes with that, know I have a support network that is just a phenomenal network of women I can go to and say, "Hey, look, I need some help
Mhm.
with this,"
Yep.
and know that they will help me to get through that.
I love that.
Yeah.
See, Kim's circle is they
Mhm.
don't consist of haters. Okay.
Right.
She
But at least
encouraged
any that she
everything
knows
But we
of.
are here. Look,
together.
let me just say this.
Yeah.
Okay, you young women, I love you. I love you. Okay, because
Mhm.
you are the next generation of leaders for us. All right, and my generation, um, I am a boomer.
Okay.
Okay,
Mhm.
my generation's responsibility is to ensure that you women, you next generation coming up, have the tools, the knowledge, and the wisdom to move into your purpose.
Right.
It's our
Right.
job to make sure that we are
So
there for
paying
you
it
as a
forward.
resource,
Mhm.
to pay it forward, and not only pay it forward, but to make sure that we set the example for
Now
you
let me
to
ask you this.
carry that torch.
Is that because now when you were starting out 18 years ago, was it
Hmm.
someone there paying it forward for you? And well,
Absolutely.
that's great. Answering those
Absolutely.
questions
I
and
think that
walking you
we
Oh,
through
move
it.
away
yeah.
from it as we get
Mhm.
older, and the baby boomers kind of are
Well,
going into a different age. I think that the help stops for
no.
our age group and younger.
I
No,
think that there has
well,
You don't
been a
think so?
little bit.
no,
No,
ma'am.
I
I
don't
think
think that's
that
the case.
we have gotten away from helping as much,
Mhm.
truth be
Mm-hmm.
told.
Mhm.
Um, because like you said, our parents and grandparents and
They
Hmm.
help.
aunties and stuff, we received that help.
Mhm.
Hmm.
It may not have been about business level, but it was about how to conduct yourself as a lady,
Mhm.
how to do so much other stuff that still helped you be able to groom yourself in
And
the business. So it
build
still
the
build
business,
character.
right?
Mhm.
But
Right.
I think that me personally, that's why
You
I'm
think we
big
got out of
on
that
helping the
mm-hmm.
underdog, is because I think that our generation is so focused on self elevation
Right.
that we've forgotten
to pull
Yeah.
We
somebody
got
up.
some,
That's what I'm
yeah.
saying. And as
to
it
pull
continues to
somebody
go,
else.
We got to
Yeah.
continue to
they're
go.
that generation coming up under
But I
us are
think
kind of
as you're
in the same
Yeah.
inspired to
place.
do so, I mean, as you're inspired to do so,
Mhm.
you feel that responsibility
Mhm.
automatically. As you're inspired to reach back, then you will reach back because you
Mhm.
know that that person that's inspiring you is doing
Mhm.
that for you.
Mhm.
So there's that thing where you automatically carry that level of responsibility to the next generation, right? So, as I was coming up, there were women that were at the forefront that I could count on, and I knew, they had already they were there. They were where I wanted to be. And so it was easy
So
for
they weren't
me to
intimidated.
listen to the criticism,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mhm.
it wasn't harmful criticism.
Mm-hmm.
It
Right.
was constructive criticism.
Mhm.
And it was and sometimes I see some, criticism being given to the younger ones, and they take it offensively, they take it personally, they get all hot and bothered about it.
Mhm.
Yes, they
and
do.
and and
Yes.
to be honest with you,
Mhm.
tone it down, bring it down a notch,
Mhm.
because at the end of the day, that wisdom is going to carry you so much further
So
than your
much further.
attitude
Yes.
and your disposition of
Yes.
disagreement.
Mhm.
Yes.
So,
Absolutely.
follow through with listening to some of that wisdom that's coming your way from
Right.
somebody that knows, because they've
Mhm.
been there. They have already seen the battle scars you
Mhm.
haven't even suffered yet.
That's
Mm-hmm.
You
right.
understand?
That's right.
So this is
That's
kind of
right.
like, my mission is to help women not only become better business owners in their entrepreneurial endeavors, but to also help them to understand how to deal with the challenges that are going to come from the
Mhm.
haters, because
Mm-hmm.
that is not going to
Mhm.
stop. I
Okay.
Right.
promise you that. It
Right.
will
Nope.
always be
It's gonna
somebody
grow
out
with
there.
you. Mhm.
It's going to be somebody out there that's just
Mhm.
not going to dig you. They just not
Mhm.
going to be on
No
your
matter
on
what
your
you do.
I don't
Right.
care
Yeah,
what
they
you
ain't on
do.
your row. They are
They're
not
not
But
on
on
you
your
your
know
Exactly.
what
row.
your best defense is?
What is that?
Never to respond.
Okay.
Mhm.
Next
Never
time I
to
will
respond.
remember that,
And
Miss
I'm going to tell
Kim.
you why. Because your
Ooh.
energy is far more, is too important to give to things that don't serve you.
How about that?
Hey,
All
say
right?
that again
It's
one more
too
That
time.
don't
important.
serve you nor
If it does
define
not,
you.
it doesn't serve you, it doesn't, it, and you,
It's
and the
right.
only way you responding is because you at some level think that this is true. Even if you don't consciously believe that, subconsciously you may believe it. Well, maybe
Mhm.
they're saying, well, what they're saying is true. If you
Mm.
don't give credence to it, it does not, it is not valid.
Right.
So don't give credence to the BS. Let it
Mhm.
go. I mean, look
Mhm.
at it and say, hey, I'm sorry you feel that way. You don't even have to say that verbally. You can say it
And
internally and
just
just walk
Right.
give
away.
an and,
Turn,
right?
just turn your head. It's just not even worth the attention. Okay? It's not worth the
I always
attention.
tell people if you're focused on your haters, how are you focusing on your success?
Well,
Like
you can't.
there
It's
shouldn't
you
be a
can't.
hater
There's
in
a
your mind.
division of energy.
Yeah,
The
And
energy.
even if you feel like you know you have them, like she's saying, don't give them energy.
You
Things
exactly.
cannot grow if you don't feed it.
Right.
the
That's what I'm
bottom
saying.
line.
You
Yeah.
shouldn't be
Bottom
focused on
line.
any hater.
Mhm.
You
Right.
should not.
Yeah.
I mean, if
Don't
somebody's
give
like, I don't like you.
no
Oh,
energy. No
right.
energy.
Okay. Good for
Zero
you. And keep
energy.
it moving.
Boom. Keep it
Mhm.
moving. All right?
So
Keep it
now
moving.
your book.
Mhm.
Tell us about this book. Money is your money holding you hostage?
Yeah, that's well. The question I got the question because I connected with my own internal struggles with money, and it became, well, is your money story holding you hostage?
Hmm.
Because money doesn't hold you hostage. It's the story internally that you're telling yourself about money that
Mhm.
holds you hostage.
Right.
All right. So if you have disbeliefs about, if you have beliefs about money that are not growing, you think money is bad, it's evil. For me, it was bad. All right. For me, my struggle was that I had been sexually assaulted at a young age, and the perpetrator gave me a dime afterwards.
Mhm.
That dime literally defined my relationship not only to money, but every
Mm.
relationship that I ever
Mhm.
had. And
Wow.
so, as a result of that, though, growing up and growing more responsible for myself, I realized that even though I was making a ton of money, I was getting rid of it as soon as I got it, because my internal belief said money is evil and it's bad and
Right.
it's going to hurt you.
Right.
And so even though I was doing things, building a business, buying homes, investing in this, investing in that, it didn't matter because it would soon go. And
Mhm.
the reason it went was because I was subconsciously driven by behaviors that repelled money.
Okay.
So my
Mhm.
question is always to, my clients, what is your money story?
Mhm.
What are your beliefs about money? What are some of the habits that you have surrounding money?
Mhm.
How do you spend it? Have you ever observed when you are emotionally triggered to spend money?
Mhm.
All
That's
right.
nice.
So some of those things are like, okay, well, I never really paid attention to that, right?
Mhm.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Hair getting caught in the ring.
Mhm.
Some I never really paid it. Some people never really pay attention to those type of things. They just think, okay, well, we got paid today. I'm going to buy me this. I'm going to get me that. But they
Mhm.
never question why.
Mhm.
Why? What's driving me to do
Right.
this? Why do I feel like I got to have this,
Mhm.
$1,000 purse or these red bottoms or
Yeah.
whatever?
Mhm.
Okay. Granted, here's the thing. Tip number one: if you can't pay for it 5 times with cash on the spot, you don't need to put it on a credit card.
You hear that?
My dad used to live by that philosophy.
Bing.
That's what I'm
If you
saying.
don't have cash to buy it, don't
No,
Don't
she said
buy it.
5 times.
Five
five
Right.
times.
That's what I'm
times.
saying.
Five
Still cash.
times.
She said cash to buy it right
So
there. Don't
if
buy it.
those red bottoms are or those whatever you're buying, whatever
Mhm.
is costing you $1,000. If you don't have $5,000 in cash, I'm not talking about on a debit card. I'm not
Mhm.
talking about on a credit card. In cash, in your pocket to buy it,
Mhm.
don't put it on a credit
On a
card.
credit
Hmm.
card.
Oh,
Awesome
thank you,
tip.
Kim.
Uh,
You know what? Then I'm gonna remember this day, and I'm gonna say,
oh Lord,
girl,
that's
do you have
Okay.
5 times?
That
Cause put it
amount,
back.
that's
put it
right. Put
back.
it
Put
back.
it
Put it
back.
back. Because, the thing about money is this,
It's a
it's
good
the
one.
energy. It flows.
Yes,
Hmm.
It
right.
is all energy and it flows.
I'm going to tell
And
you
we
when you initially reached out to me because you share with us that you
Hmm.
have you are a victim of domestic
Right.
violence.
mhm.
And when I first heard the title of your book about money holding you hostage,
Hmm.
I went to that place of domestic, you know how women are
Hmm.
there are
Mhm.
it's hard for them to get away from a situation because maybe the
Right.
finances aren't
Right.
intact. Oh, I got
Mhm.
to stay here because
Hmm.
who's going to pay the
Who's
bills
gonna
or
take care of me?
who's
Right.
going to take care of me?
Uh-huh.
Right.
Do you could you see that as being a hostage
Oh,
situation
absolutely.
for?
Well, my mother stayed with her abuser all those years, primarily because of the finances.
Mhm.
Mhm.
She had 4 kids.
Mhm.
So her, and I'm not trying to think for her, but in anyone's mind, how am I going to take care of 4 kids by
Absolutely.
myself,
Right.
Mhm.
right?
Right.
And I look at that and I think, yes, that was definitely her being held hostage. And there is such a thing as financial abuse.
Mhm.
Mhm. Oh
Okay,
yeah.
the abuser was not only a physical abuser, an emotional abuser, but he was also a financial abuser because
Mhm.
she couldn't get any
Dangling.
money for
Mhm.
Mhm.
anything if he didn't say it was
It
okay.
was okay.
Mhm.
Wow.
All right.
Right.
Or if he didn't feel she was deserving of it.
Mhm.
Right.
Mhm.
So, yes, absolutely, there is financial abuse, and there is women that are bound or feel bound by their situation because of the finances.
Mhm.
Right.
And that's when really have to strategically come up with a
An
plan
And
exit
that's
to
what I was
escape.
just going
exit.
to ask
An
you. How do
exit
you
escape.
redefine
Yes.
your, if
You've
that,
got to come up with a plan. You just,
Mhm.
unless you just cold turkey walk out the door and just say,
And just
I'm
say,
gonna
yeah.
wing it, and
Right.
just whatever comes, what may, let it be.
Mhm.
But there
realistically, what should be part of their plan?
part of their plan should be probably maybe finding something that they could use as a resource to sell. So, for example,
Mhm.
if you and it's simple. I mean, I could sit here all day and name ways that you could generate money
Right.
and easily. All
Mhm.
right, you might have
Mhm.
old books sitting up in a corner somewhere. Take them
So
to
many
half
different
price books and
Man,
ways.
sell them.
sell
You
them.
got CDs. Nobody's using CDs anymore. Sell those suckers. Go
Exactly.
to you
Garage.
know
I mean, have a
yeah
garage
uh,
sale.
anything,
Create an
garage
eBay,
sales.
Amazon account.
um you know
Sell your stuff.
make something, craft. I mean, there's so
Mhm.
many online stores that are open. You can open a free platform and sell some of your crafts if you're into
Mhm.
crafting.
Mhm.
um there are so many ways that you could generate an income today. And it's just really about creating a plan to do that so that you can escape someone who is physically, financially, emotionally abusive to you. So,
Exactly.
Mhm.
yeah.
And I find that, like you said, it's so many different ways to be able to create money.
Hmm.
I feel like the hardest thing to train is that person's mind to
Mhm.
Oh,
want to break
absolutely.
free.
They've got
Mhm.
to.
Because
They've
there's
got to
nothing
feel
more
like
powerful than a made up mind.
that's it.
Once you have made up your mind, then the body and everything else is
It's
going to
gonna follow.
follow.
That's
Yep.
it.
And so it's just about them wanting and deciding to break free,
Yeah,
and that this no longer can work for me. And once you make
Right.
that decision,
that's it.
shoot, and the
Done
rest is
deal.
history, baby. Like
Yeah,
you say, you
done deal.
can walk away in the middle of the night and wing it, and
Mhm.
and come right back up
Mhm.
because
Mhm.
you
Yeah. When my
know.
mother made up her mind that it was time to go, it we
Mhm.
we went. That was it. It was
Mhm.
we were just gone,
Gone.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so new life, new everything,
Yeah.
started all over,
Mhm.
right? So
Yeah.
it is about a made up mind. It is
Yeah.
about believing that you're deserving of something more, something better,
Yes.
Mhm.
and
Yes.
yeah, money being held hostage by money can come just
Mhm.
from it is a decision.
Yes.
Yeah.
When I say, when you make up your mind to become wealthy,
Mhm.
that is the moment that you decide that you are worthy of that wealth.
Yeah.
Mhm.
When you
Yeah.
make up your mind that I'm going to be wealthy.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And it's not just a dream, a pipe dream. It's really
Right.
about a strategy. How am I going
Mhm.
to get there? If I'm
Right.
here at $100 in my bank account, how do I get to that $1 million
Mhm.
Right.
in 18 months or
Mhm.
whatever, right?
Mhm.
So, creating a plan. And here's the thing about plans, they are going to change.
Yeah.
Nothing is going to be a straight line.
That's a
Yeah.
good one.
You are definitely going to hit some hiccups. You're going to come across some challenges where
Mhm.
you feel like you can't continue the journey. You make
Right.
adjustments to the plan,
Right.
Right.
right?
Now,
Exactly.
wealth, I think one of the things that I always hear people say, wealth is just not the money aspect of it. That there
Absolutely not.
are
No.
different facets to wealth. People think that, like you said, that $1 million in a
Mhm.
year,
Mhm.
but wealth has different components to it, right?
Wealth
Right. Well,
wealth
oh,
to
yeah.
me
Mhm.
defined wealth defined to me is, for me, time freedom.
Hmm.
How do I get
Exactly.
time freedom?
Right.
Mhm.
Then what does that mean to me? What does that look like? So yeah, it is different for every single person.
Right.
It's relative,
Hmm.
right? It's relative. How
Exactly.
does it look to you? I don't
Hmm.
know.
Right.
You
Mhm.
have to. You can only define that.
Right.
Mhm.
But for me, it's time freedom.
Hmm. Yeah. What is it to you,
Exactly.
Danielle?
Time and freedom.
For time and freedom. What about you? What is
Mhm.
wealth to you, Montana?
Probably the same. I would
Yeah.
say the same, definitely.
Because
Yeah.
there's a lot of people who are wealthy but do not have the
Time to
time
do
and the freedom
anything.
to enjoy it.
They
Right.
can't
Right.
And
enjoy
they
it.
die out early, stroke out, heart
Yep.
attack. Like, dude, like your wife's cheating, the kids are
You cheating.
unhappy. I mean, like, but everybody's filthy rich.
Yeah.
Like, that's
Right.
not
It's true.
rich to me. That's
Mine is
not
No.
wealthy.
creativity as well as the time.
I want my money to be able to work for me. I
Mhm.
want two people. I want people and money to work for
Mhm.
me. But
Mhm.
money is the one employee that won't call in sick. It
That's
won't take a
right.
vacation.
Hmm.
It'll
It
work
it it
harder
won't
than
it
you ever
honey.
will.
Man.
Your money will work harder for you than you ever could work for it.
Exactly.
Hmm.
And like they
Okay?
say, it's not about how much you can get, it's about how much you can keep.
That's right.
Right.
A lot of us have come through a lot of money, but
Whew, I can
Do
tell
you
you I
hear
we
have.
me?
can
Do
look
you
back and be
hear
like, we
me?
should have been rich,
All right.
Man.
but
So
where are we
But my
today?
I
bank
have
account
But
say.
okay, so
yeah.
I have another question. You mentioned that being held hostage to money, not in just the domestic violence
Mhm.
where the man or the woman may control the finance, because there are
Mhm.
some women who control the finances from their
That's
husbands.
right.
That he bring home the paycheck and get $20 for a week or 2 weeks or whatever.
Right.
But on the flip side, being maybe say hostage to money as far as debt is concerned,
Oh, yes.
right?
You can't feel freedom if you're under
Mhm.
You
the
can't.
burden of debt.
Right.
It's just no way. It's just no
Right.
way. You're always bound when you
Hmm.
are in a place of uncontrollable debt.
Hmm.
And I say uncontrollable because there's some debt that's good.
Hmm.
Right.
There's some debt that's just not good.
Hmm.
Mhm.
And
Name a
so
couple of bad good debts so people
ba-
can kind of get an understanding.
well, a good debt would be like your home, your mortgage.
Hmm.
You got to have if you're paying on the mortgage, you're paying, that's real estate. That's an asset you're investing in. It is quote unquote considered a liability at
Mhm.
first, but once you pay it off and it's yours, you own it, it's an asset. So you definitely you have that um, that return on investment after a long period of time.
Hmm.
Worst case scenario, credit card debt. Credit card debt is horrible. If you're, and I'm talking like Nordstrom's, not to put Nordstrom's down, okay, but any credit card from a department store,
Mhm.
um,
Mm-mm.
yeah, no.
No,
Yeah.
that's
That's
Rip
waiting to
off
horrible.
that.
happen. Yeah, that's
That's
Yeah,
that waiting to
that
happen.
is
yeah.
horrible because the fees that they charge on those
Mhm.
cards are ridiculous.
Yes.
I've seen some of those fees in upwards of 25 and 30%,
Yeah,
and
23
Mhm.
and all that good stuff.
baby, when you finish paying for whatever it is you just bought on the
Mhm.
minimum balance, you
Exactly.
have been paying on the minimum balance for 2 and 3 years. The
That's
money that
right.
you fed into that account or to that
You could have
department
just
store,
saved that
you could have
cash
just
and
saved
bought
the
it.
cash and bought it cash and
That's
saved
right.
Or
all that
waiting for
money.
clearance.
Right.
Oh my
All fees
gosh.
and clearance.
So
And
yeah, credit card. I mean, people
you
like,
right.
okay, so we work. I have a partner that I work with in terms of helping people get their credit together and get their credit back
Mhm.
on track and things like that. But the credit card debt is the biggest burden. It's the
Hmm.
biggest
Yeah.
burden in households. I think and I didn't, and I should have looked this up before I left, but the last I checked, there were almost 43% of households that had more than $30,000 in credit card debt.
Ew. As a
$30,000 is a
salary.
lot of money in credit card debt. Now,
Yeah.
compound that with student loan debt, um, compound that with your car note and all your mortgages, all the other things that you have to take care of, and you're just
Mhm.
bogged down. So yeah, get rid. There's a system I have that you pay down the credit card. We get rid of the credit card debt.
Right.
We got to get rid of it because it is taking money away from you that you could be investing in your financial future
Exactly.
using some what I call tax-free tools. You
Mhm.
use tax-free tools to build wealth. That's what
Right.
the wealthy do.
Yeah.
They use
Exactly.
tax-free tools. We all have the same rule book. The IRS has not played favors when it comes to the wealthy and the poor.
And they want the
We
money.
Mhm.
have the same rule book.
We
The
have the
problem that we
same rule book
have is access to the
to the
information to
information.
utilize the rules in that rule book so that we can win, so that we can get ahead of the game. That's the
Exactly.
problem, the access to the information.
That's
Right.
it.
So now it's time to educate people on financial capability versus financial
Mhm.
literacy because I think we all
Mhm.
got that down pat right now. It's
Mhm.
time to step the game up to building wealth with financial capability and doing so
Right.
with using instruments that are tax free and
Mhm.
understanding why it's important.
Right.
Why it's important.
Exactly. And teaching things like, the rule of 72, which many
Well,
people do not know
my
about. They don't.
son, look, let me tell you, I come from a financial background. My son
Mhm.
was 8 years old when I bought him his first book on the
See,
Rule of 72.
that's what I'm saying.
Okay, you've got to teach your children, but you can't teach
What
them
is
Because
the
if
rule of
you.
72 for those who don't know?
right.
The rule of 72 is how
Mhm.
much your money will double
Double. Mhm.
over time.
Over time.
So you learn how to take the interest rate, the
Mhm.
current interest rate, multiply by 72.
And
That tells you how many
72.
years it's going to take you to double your money.
Right.
Okay, so learning how to double your money, my son got really excited because when he learned he could, oh
Yeah.
wait a minute, I could have $100 if I
Yeah.
if I do this and
If I
I,
do that,
oh my
yeah.
God, well let me, okay, so then he started putting his little money in the in his little savings account
Mhm.
based on what he thought that
Based
rule of
on what?
72 was going to
Uh-huh.
do, right?
Mhm.
Compound his money. Children get excited about things that grow.
Yeah.
That's one thing we lack in
How
our
about that?
community is teaching our children how to prepare for their life after mommy and daddy
After
jump
mommy
on,
and
After
after
daddy,
mommy and
mommy and
daddy, yeah.
daddy.
right?
So for 18 years old, I knew one family at 18, their kid had $25,000 to start their life on. I knew
All
another
right.
who had more than that.
Mhm.
But the average family, they don't. They expect push your kids in college, take out the parent out to take out the loan, or the
Mm-hmm.
child takes out the loan, and now you've started your kid
Right.
at the bottom. They
I
say
t-
go get credit card.
Ooh.
Mm.
There are exceptions to the rule, of course, but
Right.
the average
Right.
person is
Of
goes back to the
course.
literacy that their
Right.
kids are not prepared to live life
Yeah.
outside of mom and dad house. They're
Right.
pushed into bills, car notes, credit card debt, student loan debt, versus having a plan, a solid plan
Well,
Right.
going
and
out
And I
two,
somewhere.
it
tell you,
goes back to
ooh, boy, I'm about
consumerism.
to.
It goes back to
Mhm.
consumerism
Yes.
because when you take it back to the place of, you know, uh, teaching your children the difference between what they must have and what they have to
Mhm.
have,
Hmm.
Mhm.
and they don't have to have those Air Jordans. They don't have to
At
have
all.
those
Right.
designer anything. My son, I'm gonna tell you, he'll tell you, he
Mhm.
didn't have designer anything,
Mhm.
nothing.
Mhm.
I mean, literally, it was zero brand all the time, and
Mhm.
it wasn't that I couldn't afford it. It wasn't necessary.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's what I
Mhm.
decided. This is
Yeah.
not necessary. You don't need a
Mhm.
hundred pair, $100 for a pair of shoes. You're only 10 years old, right?
Mhm. Right.
So, for me, that was my job to teach him. These things are nice to have if you can afford to have
Right.
them.
If you can afford to
If you
have
can
them.
afford to have them, yeah, by all means, go buy your, whatever.
Mhm.
But if you cannot afford to have them, you got credit card debt, and you're struggling just to make ends meet.
That's right.
It's time to pull the reins on some of that external spending and find a
Mhm.
way to
Sister, you
put that
preaching.
money aside into something that's going to grow and appreciate.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Invest in appreciable assets, I say. And here's another thing. This is tip number 2. It just
Mhm.
is they coming along,
I,
okay?
I,
Okay, well,
I hope you
bring
Tip
it.
guys are
number
flowing
2.
with us, write it down.
Write it down. If you buy it regularly, then own it in
Thank
your
you.
stock.
In your stock.
Okay.
Yep.
Starbucks. I know a girl go to Starbucks every single morning, no matter what,
Mhm.
has been doing it for the last 15 years. And I'm telling you,
Why would
you
you not pay
cannot tell
yourself?
her not to buy her latte.
Mhm.
You can't even mention it.
Mhm.
I told her one day years ago, I said, you buy so much Starbucks coffee, you need to buy stock.
Yeah,
Mhm.
in Starbucks and
Did
pay
she buy stock
yourself.
though?
She did buy
Okay,
stock.
She
good.
She does
eventually
own
did.
stock in the
Okay, okay.
okay. But here's the thing: if you buy it, own it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Um, if you buy or Air Jordans for $100, $200, whatever they cost, I don't even know.
Mhm.
Buy stock in Nike.
Yeah.
Mhm.
If you on Facebook 24/7, buy Facebook stock.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Because I'm going to tell you something. Every time you put your time into any of those things or money into any of those things and you are a stock owner, that money is going back into
Back
your
It is.
pocket.
into your
This is
pocket,
something that I
It's
learned
paying
going
from my
back into your
yourself.
mentor.
pocket,
Right.
Exactly.
I learned
right?
this from my mentor. He said, make sure
Mhm.
they pay out a dividend though.
Oh, absolutely.
If
Yeah.
you buying stock, may go down, scroll down. I have an
And
app,
they'll tell you,
Robinhood and E Trade,
yeah,
and just see
Mhm.
if they pay out a dividend and how often they pay out a dividend. Because
right,
some of
Right.
those popular stock options don't pay out a
right.
dividend, and now
Right.
you're just paying into their growth. So make sure Thurman Jones, my mentor, he told me to make sure that,
Mhm.
because I was doing that. I was like,
Mhm.
oh,
Mhm.
this stock, and I
Mhm.
was buying all this
Mhm.
stock. And he said, how much money are you earning at the end of a quarter?
At
I
the end of the
said, earning?
quarter.
He was like, if you don't go get rid of all that stock and go
Mhm.
find something that pays a
Pay
dividend, you
attention.
wasting your
Mhm.
Why?
money.
Because it's free money.
Yeah.
It's free money.
It's free
And
money.
yeah. And what I was going to say is unfortunately if we were learning these things in our
Mhm.
culture,
Mhm.
then how I feel most of us would not have gone and gotten a college degree if we had been taught how to properly invest our money. And the reason I'm
Mhm.
saying is because the ultimate goal to go to college to even earn a degree is to make money.
Right.
But
Mhm.
if you knew early on how to actually make money and make your money work for you early, then you wouldn't spend so much money basically losing money because college is more of an experience sometimes than a
Mhm.
degree. Because the
Yeah.
reason why I say that is because most come out not with a degree, and those that do are not working in their degree.
Yeah.
So
And
the
in debt.
experience is almost more worth it than the actual degree if you come out with it. But how I feel again, I was glad I told you earlier that my son decided to go to trade school
Mhm.
and to not return back to TSU. And I have a degree and I'm still paying in student loans.
Mhm.
And even though my associate's is in marketing and my bachelor's is in business management, I never thought I'd be owning a business. I thought I would be teaching school. It's just amazing how that kind of all worked out. But what I'm saying is, dude, like if I really knew what the tips and stuff that you're saying, I know those things now, but
Mhm.
I didn't know them early on. Then I would not be still $67,000 in debt that I'm still paying back for what?
With a school, yeah,
Exactly.
for a
What
When
do
I
school
you
when
think
loan.
I
about
could have
school?
had that $67
I and
and 67, excuse me, $1,000 and
mhm.
invested that money
Mhm.
because that's why we teach our kids to go get that
That's
degree.
right.
And what I'm saying is other cultures are only teaching their kids to get those degrees to get businesses. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
They're
Right.
not teaching their kids to go to school and get this degree to continue to work for somebody else.
Right.
When they teach their kids to go get this degree is to go back and open up your own practice,
Yeah.
to open up
Have
your
your
own
own
company, open up your
business.
own business because of the tax write-offs, because of all the other advantages that
Mhm.
you get from being a business owner. So yeah, you need that piece of paper behind that, but it's a trick to it all, guys, and we're behind.
There's definitely a strategy to it.
It is.
But again,
That's
I
how the
think
rich
that
staying rich.
it's it's all a matter of personal preference in
Yes.
my opinion. Now, yes, the education piece of it, I am pro education. However, I have given my son latitude when he was younger to make that decision for himself
Mhm.
because at the end of the day, you're right. It is about what are you going to do with that degree when you finish?
When you
You know,
finish, yeah.
um, it can't be that you're just going to go and work a job because I'm going to tell you something. You can work
Mhm.
1,000 jobs and they will never pay you the money
What
you're
you
worth.
worth?
They will
Never.
never,
Amen.
ever, ever pay you the money you're worth. You
Never.
may enjoy that job, you may find fulfillment in that job,
That's right.
but you will never, ever, ever you will never get rich working for somebody else. Let me put it
Ever.
that way.
Ever.
So if you're looking to get rich and have wealth and build wealth and you think that doing it, working and collecting a paycheck for the next 30, 40 years is going to make you get you there,
Mhm.
maybe, maybe not. But I say
Mhm.
more likely not.
Not.
Um, but it is all a matter of personal preference, and again it goes back to the education of what your money game is about. When you're
Mhm.
educating yourself in your money space and you're
Mhm.
taking the initiative to learn what it is to build wealth, not just make money. Anybody can make money.
Amen.
Anybody can make money, but not everyone can build wealth.
Yeah.
Amen.
So understand what that distinction is. Understand some of the steps that you may need to take to get there, and you might need to make a hefty investment at first.
Mhm.
Don't look for stuff free all the doggone time.
Did y'all hear that?
Okay.
And ding, our imaginary shade
All
bell.
right. So yeah, the freebie game. Yeah. Okay. Get out of the freebie game because the freebie game will keep you down in the freebie level.
That's
Yes.
right. That's
So
And people
right.
will stop wanting to deal with you
start
because they go
investing.
Felicia.
Start
Exactly.
investing in
Stop
yourself.
asking people to
Start
invest more in you
investing
than
in
you
your
in yourself.
education, in your knowledge, in your wisdom. And
That's right.
Napoleon Hill talks about this in Think Rich and Grow Rich.
Mm-hmm.
Think and Grow Rich.
Uh-huh.
He talks about specialized knowledge. He talks about um, taking the initiative to learn a specific thing,
Mm-hmm.
whatever that is. If you want to learn about investing in the stock market, learn about investing. Go subscribe to some trade magazines.
Mhm.
That's the first
Mm-hmm.
thing I did when I wanted to learn about investing. I
Mm-hmm.
subscribed to Investors Daily,
Mhm.
and I got the daily newspaper about different stuff. Didn't
Mm-hmm.
understand it all at first.
Right.
You understand? I didn't understand what I was actually reading, but the more I read it, the more I began to understand it. When I started asking questions of the pros in that area, they helped me to understand it more acutely.
Mhm.
So it's just really about taking some time to invest in your knowledge, investing your knowledge base, and developing and honing that skill of money, wealth creation, because wealth creation is a skill. It is something that you must learn to
This is true.
cultivate. You've got to cultivate your relationship to money in a way that you know that it has purpose, that you have assigned it, you've given it an assignment, and
That's
you
right.
you don't divert from that under any
That's
circumstances.
Right.
right.
Yep.
Okay?
And like
Let
you
me ask
say,
you.
Mhm.
So,
oh, go ahead.
you have been. Oh, did you want to? Because I'm
No, I was just no. Go ahead. You can go ahead.
okay. Because I was about to wrap it up. So, if
Okay.
you have
No, I
anything
was
you want
just
to
gonna
say,
say, just make sure you know what your money goals are,
Mhm.
because that's gonna determine what you do with your money.
Mhm.
If you want your money
Create
to
some money
grow,
goals first.
exactly.
And
How
be
about
realistic
that?
about your
And
money
be
goals, because a lot of
realistic.
people be like, "I want to make $1 million by next week,"
and
and
working at Walmart,
right, and
it's not
everybody
gonna
is trying to
happen.
win the lotto. I think we up
Right.
to
That's
Oh,
a
yeah.
it.
billion
Billion
dollars
dollars.
now.
I'm playing it.
I mean, that's fine, but some people take
Yeah.
their whole
But
paycheck.
that's their whole, yeah,
That's
that's
their
their whole
investment
goal.
goal.
Some
I'm only
people,
It's
taking
investment
right.
five
goals.
dollars.
And
I don't
some
take the
people
And we're
money.
have,
above average. We're
Listen,
talking
I
yeah.
about
don't
the
take them
people.
kind of risks.
Some
I
Yeah,
take
people winning the
five
lotto is
dollars.
their
that
retirement
that is.
plan,
They
and
and
and and, and
play
they bank on that
like the
Right.
seriously.
casino
And
is
if you
their
would
I
just
retirement
told.
invest the
Let me
goal.
money
tell
that you buying
y'all.
them tickets
This
with,
week, I told my baby Ivy that she was my retirement plan. She told me she was gonna be a doctor. She had me
okay.
looking up what uh, incomes these doctors are making because she's making sure she is on the side where she is on
Mhm.
the
Mhm.
millionaire side.
Okay. Right
Okay.
on. Right
And
on.
she
Plastic
has it
surgeon,
all.
right?
Yeah,
Uh,
she wants
sh-
to either do plastic surgery
all right.
or she wants to be an anesthesiologist.
Shout
Okay.
out to little
Okay.
Ivy. Hey
All right.
girl,
All
come
And
right.
on.
All
and that
right.
kid has the cake. She's gonna do it,
She's
whatever it
gonna
is.
do
She's
it.
already got it mapped
Mhm.
out. And I said, girl, I need you to do this. I'm
Okay.
counting on you. You are my retirement plan, baby. But listen,
Right.
Kim, we
Hmm.
definitely appreciate you coming and sharing with us today. What I like to know, you've been doing this, 18 plus years.
25 pretty much,
25.
yeah.
Okay, 25 years. What would Kim Harris, what kind of advice would Kim Harris give herself 25 years ago?
Oh, be strong because you're going to have a lot of adversity, but
Mhm.
with determination and tenacity, you will get through it. And love yourself enough to know that you deserve the best of the best, no matter what it is. Don't allow yourself to compromise on any of your convictions, on any of your um, beliefs. Um, just know that you loving you will allow other people to love you just the same.
Awesome. And
Nice.
how
Oh.
can people stay connected to you if they want to know more about the books that you write,
Yeah.
what you do in making people capable of their over their finances? What how can they stay connected?
They can go to my website at lifebusinesslegacy.com. That's lifebusinesslegacy.com.
Okay.
And on there, you can actually get to the appointment if you want to schedule a free consult with me.
Nice.
I have
Okay.
you can schedule your free consult. We'll talk about your money, your existing money strategy, and then we'll see how we can project and build on that from that. Um, and then you can also find a link where it'll take you to where my new book is. It's a memoir called A Dime to My Name, and I want to give you ladies a copy. And I
Thank
wrapped
Oh,
it
you.
up, but
thank
She
you. That
wrapped
is
it
so
up. I'm
nice.
about to
In
Yeah.
my
close
okay.
it.
favorite color.
I
Really,
really hate
this
Thank
this.
you,
is new book.
Kim.
The new
We
book is a
Yeah,
memoir. Your other books
it is.
are
The other
business
books,
books, right?
The
yeah, Think
hostess with
Like the
the
Rich and Grow
mostest.
Rich
Mhm.
is a 20. It's about 25 mindset hacks,
Mhm.
Mhm.
mindset and habits that will help you to build your wealth.
Okay.
And it's on Amazon as well. So you can find all of my books on Amazon.com.
Okay.
Just go, I guess, put in the search Kim Harris, and it'll
Yeah.
bring up on
Yeah,
my
Show
let's
the
bring
stuff.
it on
cover.
I
up.
want to show the cover, okay, for A
Yes.
Dime to My Name. Now, looks like we have two, so
I'm a,
we
I'm
will
a,
Okay.
I'm
keep
sorry.
one.
I'll bring it. I'll bring.
I'll get one from you because
Okay,
Kim
okay.
and I have a history.
We
So
have a
yeah,
history.
we'll
Okay,
Danielle will
okay.
give Danielle one.
So we
Appreciate you. Thanks,
have
Ivy. Thanks,
two
Yes, it's
Kim.
books.
signed.
Thank you.
One will keep for the show, and one we will give away to a lucky listener. So we've
Yes.
had quite a few listeners that have been tuned in to the program. All you have to do, the first person that comments and says, "I want the book," it's
You'll
It's
got
yours.
yours.
it.
It's
All
So
yours.
it is
right.
Kim Harris, A Dime
Yes.
to My Name, Breaking the Silence, Healing the Brokenness, and Living the Dream.
And it's a signed
Mhm.
copy.
And it is a
And,
signed
and really
copy.
quick, tell us about why you decided to do a memoir outside of another business book.
Well, because I wanted to connect the dots as to why I do what I do today.
Mhm.
Mhm.
How money was um, the really the catalyst of
Mhm.
how I became interested in healing my own relationship with money.
Mhm.
And so that's what
Mhm.
the book is really about. It's about how my initial relationship started out very tumultuous with money,
Mhm.
being
Mhm.
connected with fear and trauma, into
Right.
one that now, I have such a beautiful relationship with money. I talk to my money. I give it a
Mhm.
purpose every time it comes into my hand.
Mhm.
Yes.
I am a money magnet.
All
Mhm.
And
right,
I
girl.
make that clear to everyone that I work with, because
Mm.
I create space for money to come into my life. And
Mhm.
that's where I had to get to. So the book talks about that journey. How did I get from there? But I had to lose it all first to figure it
Mhm.
out.
Whew.
And
Mhm.
once I lost it all,
Yep.
then I remembered that it was about creating a relationship in tandem with God,
Mhm.
Mhm.
and in tandem with my beliefs, and then
Mhm.
opening up that window so that it all can
Right.
come in as I wanted it to come in.
Okay.
Mhm.
So yeah,
I like that. Speak to your money.
you
Give
got
your
to
money
talk
Yeah.
to it.
purpose.
It's it.
Cause,
You
cause
Yeah,
if
have
you
to
don't
clear
have
the
a
space.
relationship
Yeah.
with your
right.
money,
That's
then guess
right.
what? It's gonna be like that dude or that woman in your life, in and out, in and out, in and out. You
That's
trying to chase it
right.
down. Give your
Yeah,
money
It's
purpose.
like
Talk,
planting
speak to it.
seeds on
Exactly.
right.
On fertile ground, on the
yeah, it's
concrete. You
not gonna
gotta
come back to
speak
you right.
into, power. Your words have power.
That's
Your money
right.
has
Right.
power. So you gotta
Right.
That's
mesh those
right.
two together. So thank you for
Thank
the
Absolutely.
copy
you.
of the
Thank
book.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Mwah.
Yay!
Oh,
Kim.
we're getting
Oh.
our here. Oops, we're getting our.
Dash that right on out there. It's okay. It's okay. I should have waited for that hug.
We already have a winner for the book. So
Awesome.
the book
Who?
is going to go to Felicia Gumont on
Hey,
Facebook.
Okay.
Hi,
Felicia.
Hi,
Felicia.
Felicia
Felicia. Bye,
says
Felicia.
that you are speaking her language, that her and her
Yes.
husband was watching our broadcast and
Hey.
was
Okay.
screaming and shouting.
All
You was
right.
screaming and
Wow.
shouting. Did you run
Praise them.
around the room?
She wanted to share with us. Hold on, let me
Mhm.
read this comment. She wanted to share that, and I can't open it all the way up. I hate that. She wanted to share that she used her retirement money to
Mhm.
buy a cargo trailer, wrapped it, and put 2,000, and she wrapped it. She wrapped her pickup truck
Mhm.
and now it's her billboard,
Mhm.
which gets her money. So
Mhm.
shout out to Felicia.
All
She
right.
said she wants us to
Smart.
post your website in the news feed
We will.
Mhm.
because she
Okay.
is looking you up right now,
Well,
Kim.
Thank you,
share.
Praise
Don't
him.
Felicia.
forget to
Share,
share
please
And
this with
share
your
share this
this.
video.
people
Yes, Felicia,
Yes.
and
if you
Bosses
since
Brunch
you
Facebook.
enjoy this video
Yeah.
so much watching this program, share it with other people. Let them
Mhm.
know
Yes.
about the information that Kim shared with us
Exactly.
today on the show.
Mhm.
Um, and if you're just now tuning in, it's okay. You can watch it from the
Yes.
beginning.
Yes.
Danielle and Ivy, let them know how they can stay connected to you guys.
Please, you guys, you can reach out to me via social media, as well as my business number is 972-914-8919. Also, reach out to me on my contact forms. My website is goub4me.com and danileiam.com.
Right. And you can reach me on social media, BLI Publishing, as well as Our Weddings with an S Magazine. So just look us up, and we're revamping our website, so we'll have that information soon. Kim, go ahead, give us your contact one more time before we go
Okay.
back to
Yeah.
Montana.
Lifebusinesslegacy.com. Wanted to keep it simple. You can also follow me on IG at Kim underscore the legacy creator. And I am definitely open to meeting you, talking with you if you want a free
Mhm.
consult. Just go on the website, schedule it, and we'll get that going.
Awesome
All right.
sauce.
Of course, you can follow me to theafterparty.com for 24/7 news, music, and entertainment. Also, follow the Party Awards as we are going live December the 9th here in Dallas at Angelica Film Festival at the I want to say Film Festival.
Because
Festival.
they do have a film festival, the Dallas International Film Festival there.
Yeah.
The Angelica Theater here in Dallas. Also, if you are looking to broadcast your own podcast or webcast and you're here in Dallas or Inglewood, California, give us a call and we'll get you set up today. Thank you so
Thank
much
you
again,
again,
Thank
Kim.
Kim,
you.
Thank you.
Danielle, and Ivy, my partners in crime. Y'all make sure y'all vote for us.
Bosses
Vote
Brunch.
for
We in
us.
Yes.
5 categories,
Yes.
so you don't have an excuse not to get us
Yeah. Hit
in
all the
there somewhere.
categories
Because
up.
we show up.
You
We just
Yes.
guys
say
know we
order
have
though.
entertained you. We have definitely educated you, and we always empower you. So you
Okay.
That's
definitely
We do
right.
need
that. We
to
do
vote for
that.
the Bosses Brunch
So
Radio.
come out,
Awesome.
even if you are not on the ballot, come out, clap for someone else.
Hmm.
Support is the new black. We
Yes.
are all about support. It just means you're not a hater. That's it.
That's
You
it.
ladies
And
are dynamic.
thank
I
Thank
love
That's
you.
you.
it.
you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Make sure
Thank
you
you.
follow Bosses Brunch on Facebook, on
Yes.
Instagram.
The gram.
Um, and we will see you guys next week, same time, for another exciting episode of Bosses Brunch
Exciting.
Radio.
All right.
Peace.
Peace.
Bye.
Bye. Mm-hmm.
Want to turn your business or brand into a marketable radio show?
What you say?
Contact us today at 214 531 3301 and start streaming.